Hey guys, Nina Soul with Spiritual Vibes. I am doing this video on the Rose of Jericho. The Rose of Jericho, what it is it's actually starts out as like this dried, I'm gonna move this back for a second. It starts out as a dried plant like this. It's very dry and has no life in it, as you can see. And this is usually how you would get them, before you take them home. This is what they look like. They are closed and yeah, there's, like I said, there's like no life to them. So you get it home and you would basically what you would do is you would submerge this part, just the roots, in water. And after submerging the roots in water, you will see the plant instantly come to life in front of you. It will start to open and it will spread out and open up, like right in front of you. You could watch it open. It takes a while for it to completely open, but you will see it. Like if you keep checking on it, you will see that it's like opening really fast. So that's, yeah, this is what it looks like, and before it's wet or anything like that. So basically my setup that I have here, and the reason why I'm doing this in the dark, is so that you guys can see like the candles and things like that. So the way that I welcome a Rose of Jericho into my home when I make it mine, and yes, you do want to welcome your Rose of Jericho into your home. The reason being is because the Rose of Jericho, it is said that inside of inside of each Rose of Jericho contains a spirit, and it's a good spirit. It's a spirit to protect your home and to bring prosperity into your home. So the spirit, what it does is that when you put the plant inside of water, the water will make it open up, and once it opens, that is when the spirit gets released into your house. And like I said, it's a protective spirit. It's a spirit to bring prosperity into your home, things like that. It removes negative energy, and it's a good thing. So I know some people are like, oh, why would I want to release a spirit into my home? Well, if that spirit is going to protect your home from evil spirits, and if it's going to bring you prosperity and cleansing, no, you go over there, because this will light your hair on fire. Go over there. It's Louis again. So yeah, but basically that's why you would want to bring this spirit into your home, because like I said, you want to repel anything that's evil and negative. You want to repel that, but you also want something that's positive inside your home. So that's that's what pretty much what the Rose of Jericho, and the spirit is said to look like a little fairy, is basically. I'm sorry, hold on, let me turn my phone off because it's gonna keep beeping. Okay, so the spirit looks like a little fairy, and once you, I'm gonna kind of explain to how you would do this, because I know everyone has their own way. This is just how I do it. I'm not saying this is the only way, this is the right way, this is, how you're supposed to do it. No, this is just how I do it. And if you guys want to share, different ways that you guys work with your Rose of Jericho, please feel free. But this is just how I myself do it. You don't have to do it just like this. You can take from this. You can have your own way that you do it. And if you want to take, some of the tips that I share and, integrate them into what it is that you do, then please feel free. Take whatever it is that you feel resonates with you. So some people, what they'll do is they'll actually fill the container, they'll fill it up to the top past the Rose of Jericho so that the whole Rose of Jericho is underwater. The reason why I don't do that is because I don't want to drown this spirit. I don't want to drown it. I want it to be able to come out, and, if it wants to go back in to rest, or, however it does, the way that I picture it as this is the spirit's little home. This is where it comes back to. And if you put this underwater, just to me, I don't know how the spirit would go back in and, come out and go back in freely as it wants to if it's like gonna get drowned. So I usually only put, you'll see the line right here, it's like a line from where I usually put the water, but I only put enough water to cover the roots of the Rose of Jericho. So just this part right here, I only put enough water to cover this. So it's maybe like a couple inches, maybe 3 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 inches of water around there, depending on the plant. Some have longer roots, some have shorter roots, like this one's kind of short. So you just want to get the roots of the plant inside of the water. And also when I welcome a Rose of Jericho into my home, I will light candles for it. I light 3 candles, and I'll put one on each side and one in the front of it. And reason for this is the number 3, the candles symbolize to me the past, the present, and the future. Because this Rose of Jericho, what it's going to do is it's going to absorb all of the, negative energy that's going on in the house, whether it's something that happened in the past, something that's happening right now, or something that's lingering around to happen in the future. It's going to absorb it. So this is just my welcoming of the Rose of Jericho into my house. This would be, I've already done this. This Rose of Jericho has been with me for, let's see, I want to say about 3 years already. This Rose of Jericho has been with me. So, so I have the 3 candles lit around it. This is just exactly how I did it when I first brought it home and welcomed it into my home. This was how I did it. So I did 3 candles. You can do however many you want. This is just how I did it. The way I seen it was I wanted the 3 candles, the past, the present, and the future. And that was, so this is me welcoming it into my home, and I'm gonna let the Rose of Jericho know that it is welcome into my home. This is now your home. You can do freely what it is that you want, protect us, things like that. This is what you would talk to your Rose of Jericho and let your Rose of Jericho know this. And the thing is too is that they say that within like the first night or couple nights or whatever, you will hear the Rose of Jericho speak its name. And it could actually come as a name that actually just pops in your head, is the way that happened for me. It was a name that just popped into my head. But I wasn't really thinking about it. It wasn't something I was dwelling on. It was just like, it just kind of popped in my head. And I knew that it was the Rose of Jericho telling me its name. Sometimes it'll come to you in a dream where, you'll dream of a name, or there's going to be a name inside of your dream that goes to the Rose of Jericho, or it could be a name that you just hear, you feel like you hear something, it's the name of the Rose of Jericho. So, that's another thing. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. And when you do welcome it into your home, you also want to give it an offering. So being as it is a fairy spirit, fairies like anything sweet. They like candy, they like warm milk and honey, they like sugary stuff. So even if you wanted to take like some, a little glass of sugar water or something and put it to your Rose of Jericho, you would basically be feeding the spirit inside of it, welcoming it into your home. And you know, anything when you bring a new person to your home and you're inviting that person into your home, you want to make that person feel welcome. So just like with a person, you want your Rose of Jericho to feel welcome, because this Rose of Jericho is going to take care of your home. And also every Sunday I change the water and I clean the bowl. And in this bowl, because I have two Rose of Jerichos, this is the one that's inside of our home. I also have one that's in the showroom that takes care of our showroom. So in this Rose of Jericho, I have like some black sand at the bottom, and then I have seashells. The reason why I put seashells in here is because of my goddess, Yemaya. She is the sea goddess. So I put seashells in the bottom to represent her. And I also, let's see, in here, I do feed it change. So there'll probably be like some change somewhere in there. It's probably under the sand, but like right in there, you'll see some change. I feed, and then right there, I feed my Rose of Jericho, I feed change and usually coins, because you don't really want to stick like dollars in here or anything like that. If you want to offer your Rose of Jericho dollar money, stick it underneath the vase. Don't stick it inside. So coins can go inside. Cash can go on underneath of the Rose of Jericho. And the water, like how I said, I change the water every Sunday, because for me, Sunday is the ending of that week, and then you want to start your week out fresh. So I like to change it on Sunday, because I don't want to take anything that the water has collected. I don't want to take that into the next week. So I will change the water every Sunday. It doesn't matter whether it's nighttime or morning, whatever time is convenient for you. You would change the water, and you don't have to light the candles every time you change the water. This is just when you're welcoming the Rose of Jericho into your home. Or if you feel like, you want to ask the Rose of Jericho for something, maybe you want to ask it that you're able to pay rent next month, or that that maybe that you need some extra protection. You need some extra protection this month. So you light candles, you give an offering, you speak to your Rose of Jericho, and you can speak to it at any time. Like, treat this as if it is like one of your best friends. Because this has no bad intentions on hurting you or doing anything wrong to you. So you want to treat this Rose of Jericho like it is your best friend. And so like I said, that the candles are just for the welcoming. And then whenever you really want to do something special for it or anything like that, you can. And when I do clean the container. Oh, and you want to have like a big container. Like this vase is like pretty tall. Like, it's only taking up a really small space of the vase. But the reason why you want a big vase is because you really don't know how wide it's going to spread out when it opens, and you don't want it to be squished in there, and you want it to have space to breathe. You want it like opened, like the top of this is very, hold on, let's see, I can see it. See, the top of it is very open and wide. So that's how I have the container, mine in this container, because it's big and it has space. And the water, so during the week, so like I said, you want to change the water every Sunday, but during the week, after you change this water, you can use some of this water in your mop water. You would add, and you don't need a whole lot, you would add just some of the water that's in here. You would add it to your mop water, like fill up your mop bucket, and then pour some of the water from the Rose of Jericho into the mop water, and use that to mop your home, your home. And when you're mopping, you would want to start from the front the front door, the front entrance, if you only have like a little square of like tile or whatever in front of the door, you would want to mop that first, and you always want to go towards the back. So then, I don't know, say your kitchen is attached to your back door. You would mop from the entrance of your kitchen toward the back door. Everything that you mop, you want it to go toward the back, and even push your mop toward the back door, toward the back, because you want the negative energy that is in your home, you want it to leave. So you want it to leave out the back door. And using your mop, just picture, you're wiping it away. You're wiping all the negative energy and you're moving it toward the back door and pushing it all the way out. And and then once you get to the back door, you could even pour like your leftover mop water out of the back door to symbolize you just getting rid of everything that's negative, like getting rid of all the negativity that was in your home. And what I also do is I take some of the Rose of Jericho water and I will put it into a small spray bottle, and I'll spray that around my home. You could do that. You could, I even usually suggest to people too is that you could take like a sage bundle, a bundle of sage, and boil it in water, and once that water cools down, you'd pour it into a spray bottle. You could take some of the Rose of Jericho water, put it in there with the sage water, and you could use that. It would be a very powerful cleansing spray. So you could do that. You could also, when you get paid, when you get your paycheck, you could take some of the Rose of Jericho water and you could dab it on your money. You could even take like a little piece of the plant. You could take a little piece of it. You could stick it in your purse and your wallet and keep it there for prosperity, so that you can keep attracting prosperity. And let's see, I'm trying to think. I believe that is, some people, what they will do too, I haven't done this, but I've been wanting to try it. So what some people will do is they, like if you take your Rose of Jericho out of the water, if you take it out and you let it dry up, it'll close back up, just like this one. So when it closes back up, what you could do is you could write a spell. You could write a spell, or you could write what it is that you're asking for. If you don't do spell work, you would write it down on a little piece of paper, and you would stick it inside of the Rose of Jericho. You would stick it in there, and then you would let, what I usually recommend is that you let it rest with the spell inside of it for like a day. And then the next day, what you could do is you could put it inside of the water, and once the Rose of Jericho opens, the spell gets released into the universe. And that's how you can even integrate Rose of Jericho into your spell work. So I believe that that's about it. Like I said, if you guys have any ways that you guys use your Rose of Jericho, or any suggestions or anything that I left out, or you want to add some stuff, feel free to do a video response or leave a comment, or I would appreciate it. And we learn from each other. So alright, well, I guess I will see you guys at the next video for the energy balls. I hope everyone's having a good night, and see you at the next video. Blessed be.